Let's now welcome our final pitch contestant today, Amy Hatterer, which is with Motherboard Birth. Please welcome her to the stage.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Is my mic on? Perfect. Okay, so my name is Amy Hatterer, and I am the CEO and founder of Motherboard Birth. So real quick, show of hands, who has had a baby before? Awesome. Okay, now who's been born? Oh, good. So like most of you, that's pretty awesome. It's obviously a very universal experience and an important one. So a little bit about me. I am a doula, which is a really funny word for somebody that supports families throughout the childbearing year. So I meet with people in pregnancy and I help them figure out what kind of birth they want, what their priorities are. I'm with them through their whole labor and birth experience, doing a lot of massage and comfort measures, helping them make decisions and communicate with their care team. And then I'm with them again through the postpartum period and helping connect them with resources. So I've been a doula for 10 years. I've served hundreds of families in the Denver area, and it's my passion. I love families. It's so important to me, and it's one of the most meaningful things that I've ever done with my life. And my slides have disappeared. So, sorry, technical difficulties. I'm the problem person that was like, can I use Keynote? And now I'm causing issues. Okay, so in my work as a doula, I've noticed some problems with maternity care. 1 in 3 people in the United States will birth by cesarean, which is 2 to 4 times what the World Health Organization deems appropriate. We also have the worst maternal mortality rate in the developed world, and it's actually rising where the rest of the world is falling. And it's even worse for people of color. They're dying at 3 to 4 times the rate of white people, even when you factor in education and economic status. 34% of parents take a childbirth class, but most couldn't answer super easy questions about the birth process or procedures, decisions they needed to make. And parents are really struggling to navigate this hospital system. So what do? You're pregnant the first time. This is not a medical event for you. This is the birth of your child, and of course you want it to go wonderful and amazing. So how do you communicate your preferences with your care team? A lot of parents will make what's called a birth plan, and they'll hand it over, and it won't always get the desired effect. A lot of care providers hate birth plans. They're seen as too long, rigid, demanding, misinformed. They're often seen as a ticket to the operating room. And actually 65% of providers believe that birth plans equal worse outcomes. So this is obviously a problem, and there's only 2 ways to break this cycle: through empathy and more effective communication tools. So we are not your mama's birth plan. This is Motherboard. So this is an example of what parents can build using our interactive software. You've got your birth team up at the top, and then at a glance, your nurse or care provider, depending where you're at in your labor process, can be like, awesome, I know exactly what's important to you, and I can serve you better. So when you're on our website, first you're going to weigh the benefits and risks and read through all of our amazing content. We have hundreds of pages of content helping parents make these decisions. And then once you figure out where you fit, you make your selection based on what's most important to you. And after you do that, then you're going to build your motherboard. So first you're going to invite your team, and that can be your mother, your doula, your best friend, your care provider. And the cool thing about this is that they can see all of your preferences and your motherboard in real time. So it's a great way to enhance prenatal visits. And then you're going to pare down your options to your Suite 15, your 15 most important. You're going to pin those to your board, and that becomes your motherboard. So we've had some amazing traction. We had beta testing back in October. We had 175 beta testers. 100 of those left positive reviews on our feedback form. We had over 20 5-star reviews on social media. We are in conversations with a potential pilot program at Longs Peak up in Longmont Hospital, and we're meeting with the Care Innovation team at UCH next week. So we've had some awesome company milestones. We had our big idea in 2013. We partnered with FirePoint Studios back in March. They are an all-inclusive health tech ecosystem. and they've been really amazing partners for us. Beta testing in October. We launched Monday, like literally we're 4 days old. Over the next year, we're going to be reaching out and building relationships with care providers. And then in 2020, we are going to be bringing our content and our communication tools onto the labor and delivery floor, with eventually an exit. So we have a vast renewable market. 4 million babies are born every year in the United States, and we estimate at least $100 billion spent on maternity care, not including prenatal visits or NICU stays. So we have a few market segments that we can touch. Obviously parents, also hospitals and care providers, educators and doulas, and insurance companies who really want to keep costs down and improve outcomes. And the way we can reach these segments is we're building integrations between these different segments. Our go-to-market strategy for parents is going to be targeted ads in social media. I'm also very well connected in the birth world, so contacting those influencers that I know. We have a lot of connections to local hospitals. We're going to focus on baby-friendly hospitals because they're already doing the work. Like I said, we have a meeting with the Care Innovation team, and we're going to be applying to the Prime Health Challenge next year, as well as the Cedars-Sinai Health Tech Accelerator, which the applications open in January. And then as far as hospitals and providers and educators, we're also going to be looking into speaking engagements and conferences, really immersing ourselves in this community. We have a really awesome team. So Sarah and I, we really have our finger on the pulse of the birth world. Sarah's a labor and delivery nurse. We have over 16 years combined experience in the birth world. And we really, manage content and all of that. Tynan Svedix is our CTO. He's also a managing partner at FirePoint, and he knows anything you would want to know about health tech. He's very well connected. My co-founder, Andy Drogo, he manages design, UI, UX. My adorable husband over there is my CFO. And then we're also partnered with Birth Becomes Her Photography for all of the gorgeous photography you see on the site. One of the great things about partnering with FirePoint is we also have access to their vast network and experience, and they've really been amazing mentoring me throughout the process. As far as competition goes, there's really not a lot out there. All of the ones that you see up here, parents are creating in Word documents. They're going on Etsy and having somebody create it for them. Nobody has education alongside. Nobody includes care providers in the conversation, and there's no collaborative aspect. So really, we are first to market for something of this scale. So looking at parent user growth, this is what we estimate the next 5 years to look like. I aim to have 1,000 parents by the end of the year. We've had 20 sign-ups since Monday, which is awesome. So then that would be over 2.2 million total accounts by the end of 2023 and bringing on about 200,000 people per year. When we bring on hospitals in 2020, we're anticipating by 2023 a 4.5 million in renewal revenue, signing 3.8 million of new client revenue for about 8 million total. And this is assuming a 10% churn rate. When you combine our revenue streams, we grow quickly from 180,000 next year to over $11 million in 2023. Our pro forma, we assume expenses consistent with other software as a service companies in healthcare, resulting in a 32% profit margin. And as you can see, once we bring on those hospitals in 2020, we're looking at profitability. So we'd use the prize money for development, building tools for care providers, legal expenses, marketing and brand awareness, compensating current staff. Right now, everybody's doing it as a labor of love because they believe in the project, and content creation and review to make sure that it's evidence-based and current. So thank you so much for your time and allowing me to share my heart and my passion with you.
Amy, thank you for the presentation. That was wonderful.
Yeah.
One thing that I see as being an uphill battle is really getting the healthcare industry to adopt this, because it seems like a wonderful product, a great idea. How do you get hospitals and health insurance companies to adopt this platform?
Absolutely. So one of the great things about something like the Cedars-Sinai Health Tech Accelerator is they will implement it on the floor. Same thing with the Care Innovation team. They really, they implement it into clinical practice. So you really see, is this working? Is it not working? You learn from that. You make sure the providers are adopting it, and you fix whatever needs to be fixed. And so, yeah, we're really excited and curious to see where that takes us. Obviously, you know, that's the exciting unknown part of it, but we're up for the challenge. I did such a good job.
I'm just thinking as a mom, it's amazing just to think about all of that.
Yeah.
And you're right, you do think you're on your own, and so then it's always helpful to have everybody out there that can answer those questions.
Yeah.
So can you share then everybody is concerned about not the value, because the value is there, but the cost.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important piece. You know, how would that work with families to reduce their costs? Does it work with insurance? How does all that work for you for payment?
Absolutely, yes. So there's obviously, like I said, a few different revenue streams, and there's different business models for each case. As far as being accessible, I really believe to reduce disparity, we have to have the information accessible to all people. I'm very passionate about that. So the content is free, but to use the software, parents will pay $15 a year to build their motherboard. Educators, we have a couple different packages. So we also have a lot of childbirth materials and illustrations, so we're going to be packaging those and licensing those for educators to use, as well as an affiliate program, so they can sign up either for a membership or get kind of a coupon thing where they can sign their clients up as a benefit for hiring them. As far as hospitals and care providers, it really depends on how many births per year they do. Like Rose Hospital will do about 5,000 births a year. So we'll cater those contracts based on how large their scope is, and we're guessing, initial estimates are about 100 to 125,000 for those hospitals per year. And then insurance companies would be a similar contract as well, because it kind of depends on how large the company is. We think it would be really amazing to integrate into their patient portals, because we have a company called Rally with our insurance where you can access their content as well through the insurance company. So we think we can add a lot of value to their front end as well.
I just had to make a comment. Did you see how quiet the men got on the panel? Like, oh my goodness. We don't even know where to start and ask, right?
And I kept it pretty tame with the images. I even cropped the first one. When we were in the pitch workshop, they're like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's a placenta. Maybe people will be weirded out by that.
So this is an appreciation, right? They're like, we just let our wives take care of all of that. And thank you, right?
This is so true. When I did the initial research and got on your website, I had to bring in my assistant to help me out with some things on navigating through what I was looking at.
Sure.
Can you walk me through the billing process? When do you recognize a sale, and then what's that process on collecting?
Sure. So we're integrated with Stripe. So when they sign up for the service, they'll fill out their information. We've got, we'll have the data. I get a little email saying somebody just signed up. So, and that's tied directly to the membership. So if we ever have to refund anybody, that would negate their membership. It's pretty simple right now with our minimum viable product. So, we're going to add more development and more nuance with that as we bring in those other consumers as well. Yeah.
Great presentation. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. I was just going to ask you, do you know how many users or parents you need to sign up to break even?
To break
initially?
even?
Approximately?
Approximately. I mean, we're still in a lot of negotiations with how much the next phase of development is going to cost. We're kind of in this lull of learning right now. So, a lot of the cost is up in the air. At the end of December, we're going to come back around with our team and make sure, we have a good picture of financially how much the next build is going to be, as well as, I applied to another accelerator. If we're, we'll have a better picture of our financials in December and what that will look like. So yeah, it's,
Great. Thank you so much.
yeah, sure.
Aside from development teams that are going to create features and software and maybe an app or something, what other types of employees do you see having long-term once this app would be, or this software would be up and running?
Sure, definitely. So I just hired a social media marketing person. You know, yeah, when you're this big and you're just starting out, it's really hard to scale yourself. So brought her on board yesterday. Actually, we definitely like somebody on the team who is more clinical and who can really go through our content and make sure it's evidence-based. Also some salespeople as well that will be, you know, building relationships with these hospitals because, like I said, it's a you know, year to 2 years sales cycle.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll give that to you.
Now judges have a big job ahead of them, so we're going to go ahead and ask you to excuse yourselves. You'll be heading up to the second floor to do a little deliberation. Patrick will take you on up there. But let's give a round of applause to all of our finalists. Garrett Brown, Rachel Mitchell, Amy Hatterer, congratulations to you.